Hi, so I just wanted to shoot a quick video about where this all began and what the videos are all about. Um, 3 weeks ago, just over 3 weeks ago, a life coach that I was working with had an idea. He asked me how I would feel if we videoed my eating disorder behaviors, specifically a binge eating cycle and chewing food and spitting it back out again. And I was obviously terrified at the idea, but somehow I ended up saying yes. I just sort of said yes without thinking. And that was really a pivotal moment that just kicked off this whole process. And we made the video, and that was really me sharing the full reality in a way that I never have before. And I watched it back, and I guess I saw the reality of things that I'd normalized for the first time ever, really, for what they really are. And I then started to make more videos just talking to the camera. And after about a week, I realized that my whole frame on my eating disorder had completely shifted, and that I'd started making decisions that I would never have made, and realizing how serious the problem was. And within a week, I'd actually got to the point where I'd sought out professional help. And I I guess the big picture is I have to keep doing it because it's the thing that's keeping me accountable to making sensible decisions and to not dropping back into rationalizing and normalizing really quite extreme behaviors that I have allowed to dictate my life. And it feels like the only way that I can maintain my focus on that reality enough to keep going with the recovery process is to keep taking the videos and somehow being accountable to the camera. And I'm not entirely sure who is going to be on the other end of the camera, but just doing them seems to be really helpful for now. There have been two periods since I started, so in the two periods in the last 3 and a bit weeks where I haven't taken videos for 3 days or so, and both times I've lapsed back into really poor decision making and not holding myself accountable and allowing ED thoughts to grab hold and run away with themselves. So I guess the short version is I'm doing them for me. And one thought pattern I've had a lot is this is really indulgent. You're expecting everyone to watch your journey, and it's self-centered, and it's, you can imagine the whole thing runs away. It's a me show. Oh, I shouldn't shoot X because nobody cares about X. And oh, this is just going to sound like a dialogue from a therapy session that's all about me. And I've used a lot of those reasons to rationalize not bothering shooting videos that actually, if I'd have just taken them, I think would have really helped me in my recovery. So guess what I'm saying is you can think what you like, but I'm doing this for me, and recovery is what matters. And I really believe that this is a tool that's going to help me get there. So there it is. I also really strongly believe that a big part of what allowed me to have an eating disorder for 2 decades, let it dictate my life and not even realize I had one, is that I never talked about it. And because it only existed inside my own head, I'd normalized it, and it was allowed to continue without really being recognized. And the videos forced me to recognize it and face the reality of it every day in a way that I can't run away from. And I constantly have thought processes, like eating disorder thought processes, that want to run wild, that want to make me do things like keep trying to restrict calories just to lose a little bit more weight, because one little bit more weight won't hurt. And that's completely sabotaging the recovery process. And if I don't take the videos and watch myself on camera trying to rationalize weight loss and rationalize lots of other things that are just going to be extending the recovery process and making it impossible to get better, then I can't pull myself up and give myself a big shake and say, sort your fucking shit out, because you're getting in your own way, big time. So yeah. You may notice, if you do watch any of them, that the first week or two of videos are fairly shabby quality. I started shooting them in dialogue with the life coach that I was working with until we jointly decided that really I need an eating disorder specialist to be managing this process. The dialogue was very rough and ready, while there was a lot of, it was over Skype with a lot of noise in the background and traffic noise and birds singing and so on. So after the first couple of weeks, it becomes a bit more watchable, but I wanted to get as much of the reality out there as I could. So the quality while I was climbing the tech learning curve is not ideal. And for the same reason, there's actually quite a lot of missing videos that were just too poor quality to really be watchable from the first couple of weeks. So it's a shame, and I'm sorry about that, but from now on, absolutely everything will be posted. And on that, when I say posted, I haven't fully decided how public I'm going to post this. I think, saying that, I probably know that at some point I will just publish them live on YouTube for anyone to find. I've got no idea whether anyone will be interested, but it really doesn't matter. The main thing that's holding me back is that I'm still working out where I stand professionally, because I work as a health coach and there may be a conflict there. I don't think ethically, because I don't feel that my eating disorder influences how I work with people, but I do constantly give advice that is, well, it's advice that I don't follow, about health being a big picture, about body weight not being the most or even a particularly important thing. You know, there's far more to health than that, and I'm not following that advice, and the internal conflict of that may get in the way of my recovery. So I need to just resolve that and be at peace with it before I decide to publish them fully. But if you're watching this live on YouTube and you don't know me, then I guess you know that I've made that decision. And if you're friends and family, then I'm probably still yet to make it, so bear with me. I'll get there in the end. Me getting to this point has been the result of 2 weeks of toing and froing my head about basically being completely terrified about sharing this stuff, and I've now come to really completely make peace with it, which feels great, and suddenly feels like it's not really a big deal at all. I think sharing most difficult things is a lot scarier before you've done it than when you actually do it. Yeah, so that's why the videos are here. Thank you for listening, taking the time, and for joining me on as much of the journey as you want to. Thanks.